Early 1900s, my great-grandfather on my mother's side was a blacksmith for the Russian Tsar. He lived in Kiev, in the Ukraine. In 1917, he packed up my Oma, Augusta Japetsky, and they fled during the Russian Revolution. And they fled to Prussia, took on German citizenship, where they lived and my Oma was raised in the eastern part of Germany. They lived through 2 world wars and a Great Depression, where my Oma met Friedrich Wilhelm Wolf, W-U-L-F. And they met, got married. They met at the Singer sewing plant in Wittenberg, Germany, just on the Elbe. It was right after World War II, and the Russians had taken over eastern Germany. And they saw signs that things were not going well. Oppression. And I told this story of losing my grandfather Bruno Horn to the Russian army. He lies buried in an unmarked grave in Siberia somewhere. My father was tortured by the East German army, led by the Soviet Union. It isn't a pretty sight when the Russians come in. They fled. My grandparents fled in 1957. My parents fled in 1958. They came here, sponsored in by a little Lutheran church in Indian Village in Detroit. That's how I got my start here. I was born the year after they came here. So when I woke up this morning and saw that all of our worst fears came true and the Russians invaded militarily, were bombing military installations, airports, government buildings, taking over. And the questions now arise after cryptic messages from Vladimir Putin. What's next? Poland, Lithuania, other former Soviet bloc countries. I so appreciate the words of my friend and colleague from the 2nd District who serves our great nation and who stand ready to help NATO and our NATO allies in Europe if that time should ever arise, and God forbid that it should. But the prayers that we have for the people of Ukraine, keep those people strong, dear Lord, because they're going to need it. The insurgency that's going to follow will be bloody. And in the lives that those people are going to live for decades is going to be untenable. Nobody should have to bear through this. And it's senseless, and it's all for the power of one dictator. And we should remember this in this great country, that we the people carry the power of government, and we should never let that go. Thank you, Madam President.